One deep breath.
Do I need to turn the TV?
Did that number to me in the background?
I still don't want to look at you.
Just look at the flower.
You're sitting in a room. You look at the clock as it keeps ticking on the wall. The hands moving like they're going in slow motion. You fidget as the hands move from 9 to 9:30, 10 to 10:30, and so on. You play with your phone, sleep, read one of the old magazines, anything to keep you distracted, yet time still seems to stand still while you wait for the door to open. The scenario I just described is one that we all have been in and is the background of my first pet peeve, which is long waiting times in the doctor's office. Pet peeves. Everyone has them. Whether they're major, minor, tolerable, or intolerable, everyone has those things that annoy them and are impossible for them to deal with. I have a few, but the top 3 that bother me the most are long doctor's office waits, people who think they know everything, and those people who live by the saying, do as I say, not as I do. In regard to the doctor's office, don't get me wrong, I think that each patient is important and they have a right to have time with the doctor for them to be listened to and to resolve the issues they came for. My problem lies with the fact that in some offices you sit there for 2 to 4 hours after you get there before you're even called back into the exam room. This really irritates me, and I don't think it's fair because if you're 15 minutes late, they make you reschedule, but if you get there on time, you have to sit around for hours twiddling your thumbs. Some offices even have signs saying to let the receptionist know if you have been waiting for more than 30 minutes. These signs are useless because even if you do inform the receptionist, it does nothing to change your wait time. I was recently in a situation where I had a doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock. I ended up having car trouble and was running late. My doctor's office policy is if you're 15 minutes late, then you have to reschedule. When I realized I was going to be late, I called to let them know I would be about 20 minutes late, which would be about 5 minutes past the cutoff time. But I hoped by letting them know ahead of time I could still be seen, and they told me I could. I ended up signing in at 2:45. When the nurse came up to the desk, it was 2:46. I was then told I couldn't be seen because I was 15 minutes late. I told her I just called and that I could be seen if I was 20 minutes late, but I was really only 15. She then told me the policy is if you're 15 minutes late or more, you can't be seen because it throws off the schedule. So apparently you could only be 14 minutes late, and even getting prior approval to be later than that doesn't count. This really bugged me because my doctor's office is about 45 minutes away, and I would have turned around if I had been told I couldn't be seen. I really don't understand their policy because you have to wait for hours before you are called back, and the doctor only stays about 10 minutes tops in the room. This makes me wonder why there is such a long wait for her to come back to the room when she spends so little time with each patient. Another thing that gets under my skin is people who are always willing to give advice or make comments about what they think you should do, how you should act, or how you should behave, whether you ask them to or not. When it comes down to taking their advice themselves, it's a totally different story. I know a man that avidly encourages his children and their friends not to drink or do drugs. He makes the point to them that doing these things are wrong, have countless negative effects on their health, which, in honesty, is very true. It seems like he is being a great example in giving useful advice. This would be all well and good if he didn't buy a large bottle of liquor 3 to 4 times a week and drink. You can't really expect someone to have too much faith in what you say and what you tell them not to do, and they turn around and do the exact same thing. Another thing that also bothers me is people who know everything, or so they think. With people who think they know everything, it doesn't matter what you were talking about because they know it all. It doesn't matter who it is they're talking to, they know more about the subject than them. If you have something, they have it too. If you've been somewhere, they've been there too, probably more times than you. If you were sick, they had the illness, and it was probably worse than yours. Any subject, they're like an encyclopedia or looking something up on Google, and don't even think you have more experience than them in anything. I know I'm far from perfect, and I do things that people find annoying, but this is my chance to express to you what bothers me the most. Thank you.
That was